So here we go, Lord Kabal. So let's start by talking about his normal attacks. And like I said, they have excellent range now. Like one of the key ones is backlight punch.
Look at that reach.
Front punch, back punch, down punch is this super far, like start of the round kind of footsie tool, which is like, footsies is like your mid-range game. You're kind of back and forth when you're feeling the opponent out. The first hit is a mid. The second hit's actually very fast overhead. And he can actually hit confirm it into the dash and go into a combo if he wants. One thing that's notable about that is typically in MK11, we actually don't have that many special moves that go into a combo without amplifying it.
Right.
Even Scorpion's Harpoon in this game, he actually has to amplify it to get a combo.
Right.
He doesn't. The dash, he'll always get a combo. So that's kind of a pretty powerful thing about Kabal, a really good option.
And you can just catch people all day with it, just like classic
Of course,
Kabal.
just like classic Kabal. Another really good normal is forward 2-2-4, which he starts doing these mids, and then he ends in an overhead. And he has low attacks that you can use to mix it up if you want. So that's kind of a good, like, up close.
Splat.
Yeah, and that also goes to a crushing blow we can talk about later.
Okay.
Another one is 3-2, which is kind of like your Punisher string. Like you block Sub-Zero Slide or Scorpion's Harpoon, and then you can actually, again, juggle them and go into Nomad Dash.
Classic Kabal.
Now, here's what I want to just do a little. I noticed something that you did, Steve. So as you know, like when you create your own versions of these characters, you can name what you've done it. You've called this 7-3.
Yes. That's a reference to a previous game that I'm
Yeah.
going to get to, and that it basically is a warning to people playing him. I'm very, very strong.
I'm very, very strong.
Yeah, beware. And I made this Kabal this loadout on purpose.
Did I just blow a reveal?
Yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal, but thanks, Tyler, for killing the bit.
My bad. My bad.
So the final normal I'd like to talk about is my personal favorite with Kabal. It's his forward 4, 1+3. So this knee is super fast. It's a really good mid, and it goes straight into a very quick overhead.
Okay.
And I want you to keep in mind, I keep mentioning overheads because those are the key mix-up tools that he has in his normals.
Right.
And we'll get to his lows in a little bit. So
Now, when we talk about overheads too, like for those who don't know that's a move that you have to stand block.
Exactly.
It will
If
hit
you're
you if you are
crouch
ducking.
blocking, you'll get hit.
Yep.
So you're always going to be wanting to stand block against him unless he commits to low special moves that I'll show in a minute.
Sure.
So I think the forward 4 is just a great tool. Like if you hit a down 1, or if the opponent does something where they're in recovery, but they're not punishable, but they're like slight recovery, it's a great move to just mash it out. Honestly, when I play Kabal and I don't know what to do, I do forward 4.
Right.
And you really can't go wrong.
And another thing, like I just want this as you watch the Combat Cast and as you learn with us, I want you to know some of the terminology. So when you say forward 4, like people play on different consoles, different systems, so the buttons are labeled as such 1, 2, 3, 4. So
Right.
it's
Like you can think of it as the left punch button is 1, then 2, and then on the kicks it's 3 and 4. So
Right.
that's a universal way for any character, any console.
So when you go online, you go to the Amazing Mortal Kombat Reddit, you go to our Discord, on Twitter, if people are trying to discuss what combos do,
Yep.
you're going to see a lot of 1, 2, 3, 4, back, forward, 4, to like explain how combos work.
Another notable thing I'd like to show is that a lot of his like classic things, like your sweep, your down 4, your pokes and all that, he also uses like swords. Like this is actually his down 4, which is awesome. It's almost the start of the range. The start of the round range. A lot of times, just kind of playing the mid-range, walking back and forth in the back 1 range, I'll just kind of do this and clip their leg. And you can see his sweep actually has, I would call this
good range right
hella
there.
range. I think this is hella.
Oh.
Yeah, very, very good range. It's another move I'll just throw out.
What's above hella range?
Hema?
Oh,
That's
okay.
one step bigger.
Okay, gotcha.
His back 2 is also great. It's not a combo, but it's kind of a safe, like,
Just get the hell
yeah,
out of here.
get out of here. Get out of here! Move.
Okay, that was you. That was you
Role
doing
playing
a
Kabal.
Kabal impression. Okay.
And now I think we can show his throws, which are pretty awesome.
And let's show this.
Sorry, that was my sound.
No, I like it.
Oh, God, it's good.
And I've always talked about this. Throws are so good. You see a lot of them in fights. So the throws really have to add color to the character. Like, they always have to feel like the character. Because, you watch a lot of tournament games, you're going to see a lot of the throw is something that is coming back to a lot. It's an animation, so you want it to be something that's really cool.
Right.
Because people are going to see it all the time.
Yeah, it's one of the best ways to show a character's personality. We can also see his wake-up attacks. He uses his swords as a huge
Oh, gosh.
anti-air.
Yeah.
But then his up 3-1 is a straight poke.
Let's talk a little bit about wake-up attacks, too,
That's
because...
a great time to talk about it. So, you no longer do any special move you want when you're knocked down. Instead, you have these preset moves that are only available when you're knocked down. So with him, you hit up 2, and he'll do this move. And that's just a wake-up attack. That's the only way you can do it. And then you have an up 3. So
now, also notice that it took 1 bar of defense and 1 bar of offense when doing that.
You are both waking up and you're invincible, and you're also attacking, so it takes 50%.
Now, are they both armored, or is just one? How does that work?
Great question. So you're up 3, which is like your poke. You just kind of strike them. That's fully invincible. But you don't get a lot of damage. You can see he just kind of knocks Sub-Zero away. It's just kind of get off me, get some breathing room. Right.
Yep.
But the up 2 is not invincible, but it is an anti-air, and it is immune to air attacks. And that, you get a full pop-up. So you can see he actually gets a combo. So the idea here would be, it's a simple meta of, do you want to do the safe, like just get off me, low risk, low reward option that's fully invincible, and if the opponent respects that, and they try to jump over you to punish it, you go for the anti-air one.
Right.
And then it would loop back into not doing a wake-up attack at all, or you can wake up roll forward or back, which is actually invincible.
Right.
Or you can just get up and actually block, and you know.
Who wants to do that?
Right. I mean, you've
got all
never
these
seen
tools.
me do that.
Like, no.
Right.
Why would I
Use the
do
tools.
that?
Awesome.
So I think that's kind of Kabal's base kit, and I think the notable thing about Kabal in this game is he's actually, in my opinion, pretty basic and easy to play, which is interesting for him.
Right.
Kabal, like in MK9, was actually a high execution character, and in my opinion, he's not really like that anymore. He's not like a high pressure, high intensity character. He's pretty simple, and for me, I've always loved Kabal, but I could never actually play him.
Right.
I'm all in on. He's one of my favorite characters to play right now because you're only going to use like 5 or 6 moves, and they're pretty basic. And he kind of has a move list. It's like quick and dirty. Like here's some good mids, here's some good overheads. He has a couple low special moves. What more do you need?
Well, and that's important too. I mean, that happens a lot in the games we make. Is that like there are some characters that like really help the people who are good at high, like, very difficult things. But like a lot of characters who aren't super difficult to play still fit right in the meta, and it's a good place to start. Like if you're starting playing our games, like maybe Kabal's a good place to start for you.
I absolutely think he'd be a really good beginner character. If you just want to use your kind of, from this range, I just kind of do safe stuff and don't really commit to anything. Make the opponent, if you want to think more about the opponent making mistakes than what you're doing, I actually think he's a great character for that.
Also has a lot of really badass specials. So if you're a guy who's not a tournament guy and you like sitting down on the couch with your buddy and having a beer and playing the game and want to slam some hook swords, this is the guy you go with.
Which sounds like a good reason to get into his special moves.
Okay.
Let's do it.
So, I don't know if anyone noticed in the trailer, Gas Blast is gone.
Well, it's just totally different, I guess. Kind of, right?
It's gone.
All right.
There is no more instant or gas. There are now
Well, yeah.
hundreds of MK9 players that are just
Crying.
Well, there's a couple Kabal players that are crying.
Right.
However, Kabal's still a pretty awesome zoner. His buzzsaw is now very, very fast, and it's actually a gadget that he throws. Because I've always wondered, what is that? Why does he lift his leg up and summon a magic buzzsaw? It is now Black Dragon tech from the Black Dragon Black Market he got from Kano, and he actually throws it like a straight projectile. It's a good recovery. It's pretty good. And the amplified version actually allows him to go into Nomad Dash. So you can't really react to it. You gotta guess that, like, you gotta be pretty confident it's gonna hit. But if he's trying to trade projectiles and you're sure it's gonna hit because it's significantly faster than most projectiles, you can go ahead, go into it, and actually get a combo conversion. So that's pretty cool. He also has other buzzsaw moves that you can use as abilities. Like, for example, this loadout, he actually has the low one back. And the amplified one is super cool because he throws 2. It does really good chip damage, and it takes up a ton of space, so they actually will have to jump.
Right.
I also, in this loadout, because this loadout is based on, now I'll admit the 7-3 thing is, this is my MK9 style Kabal. He actually has a air straight one that he can do.
Oh, jeez.
And he can amplify that to actually recover super, super fast.
Right.
So, you know, you can use to cover the ground, and they're going to have to inch their way in, and you know they're going to want to jump, and then you can go on and do the air one and try to catch them.
Or if they jump, can't you just catch them with a dash too?
Of course, you can do the classic, one of the best MK3 anti-airs.
Just stay back, right? Like, it's awesome.
Now, we've already talked about the Nomad Dash, but now we'll show it clearly. It's everything you want about Nomad Dash. Now, normally, he actually cannot cancel it. That's gone too.
Right.
We've, like a lot of the pressure like that, is drastically toned down in the default move list. But if you're someone that really loved it and you do have the execution,
Right.
you're not like me, you don't want to just, play the bare bones, you want it, that is available as a customization item. So he actually can still do that.
So all the people that were asking is Dash canceled back for him.
Yes, it is. You can make that loadout. If that's your bag, you're someone that's really good at that, that is available. It'll take one of your slots, so you got to think clearly, But if you want to make this MK9 style loadout,
You can.
you're free to do it.
And you can't do it.
Yep. Another special move he has that's actually back, and I think is very cool, is his hook slam move. And this is your combo ender. You're going to pretty much end all your BNBs with this. It does good damage. If he amplifies it, it's super fun.
Oh.
Whee! Yeah, that's super fun. Another one of his key special moves is in this loadout, I gave him... wait, I just forgot what I was going to show.
Number 3.
I think we're done with this loadout, actually.
Cool.
I think we're ready to go to the next one. Okay.
Let's check out another loadout.
All right, so I made another loadout. This is the personal one that I use when I play.
Okay.
I'm very happy with this loadout. So first off, this is actually a default move that he didn't have in the last one. He has an air saw that goes at a downward arc. In
Right.
the last loadout, I had chose to go for the straight one, but normally he uses the down one, which is the one I prefer. He can also amplify it to recover very quickly. And this is pretty awesome, not just for zoning, but it's for faking jump-ins. Like, you can kind of pretend to jump in and actually change the jump arc. You can stay safe by jumping down quickly.
So this is what you were talking about earlier too. The human, like, awesome looking skin for him.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love the coat, and I think his not being burnt up is cool. And since we're playing with timeline stuff, we're able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
He was actually meant to be in Special Forces Unburnt, and there was like art for it and everything.
Hold on a second.
Whoa.
Steve's lore minute.
That's right. That was actually cut. So, and he was in Shaolin Monks, but this is the first time where you can actually play him Unburnt. And
Good.
I'm very hyped for that.
All right.
Cool.
Also in this loadout, I gave him a low hook sword, which not only looks cool, this complements all the overheads I mentioned earlier. And this is the way that I like to play Kabal. High risk character. Like, I'll do this, and normally he has the overhead. I'll go into the low hook.
Ooh.
Or, as I said, this is an overhead. I'll do this. So the low hook is punishable. He's going to get bodied if they block it, but he keeps the opponent guessing all the time. I also am a big fan of doing that instead of the overhead, and that's going to not only keep him guessing, but it's going to keep him focused on the normal he's doing, which then opens up throws.
Right.
And then lastly in this loadout, I gave him the parry, which is, in MK9 he kind of had a parry because EX Dash is so OD, and now we've actually just given him an actual parry, and it's very strong. He can actually hold it as long as he wants, and he gets a full combo when it hits. So he gets a super effective parry. So in my opinion, the way I play him in this loadout is he's a 50-50, it's a high risk 50-50, but he still opens you up all the time, and then he has defensive options with the parry. So
Right.
he tries to get in close, then he starts opening up with overhead low mix-ups, and if you try to attack him, he can parry the full combo.
Can I say something?
No.
And Derek, maybe you'll agree.
Okay.
Is there anyone faster at going through the training menu than Steve?
No.
Well,
No.
I do it all